Okay, sweet.
He wasn't.
Kelsi, just do you feel like this was maybe y'all's most complete performance yet?
I don't know if it was the most complete. I thought Pine Bluff was pretty. We did some really good things in that game, but we scored it more consistently. I thought we rebounded on both ends of the ball really hard. We still had too many turnovers. And then we had some, mishaps communication-wise defensively, but I mean, much better game than the last time we took the floor and the time before that. So slowly starting to piece things together, but again, it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, with Bonnie at 5'9" to get 15 rebounds, like, have you ever coached a guard her size that you feel like has that much just ability to go up and get a rebound?
Yeah, she's phenomenal. I mean, she can really rebound, but I think she puts forth maximum effort. I mean, that's one thing we talked about before the game. I think just helping her settle down, I thought she shared the ball better, and then it was able to come back to her. I said, focus on something other than just scoring, and she focused on obviously some rebounding and some defense, and I thought it helped her play a more complete game.
At least offensively, if you look at the quarter-by-quarter scoring, it was very consistent. Did you like that there was not really a drop-off there in any quarter?
And I think the biggest thing was we've really talked since we've gotten back from Tech that just really sharing the basketball. And I think the fact that we had 19 assists really did testify to that. We've really been focusing on our breakdown drills and really just honing in on making sure we're sharing the ball, getting a better shot. It's not like some of our shots they're not necessarily bad, but can we get a better shot? Can we really shift the defense from side to side and get an even better shot than the one off the first bounce? And I thought we did that much better tonight, and it showed by being more consistent in the scoring column.
Yeah, speaking to that, in the second quarter when you went on that 15-0 run to start it, some of those possessions to get that, it was, swinging the ball around, hitting Jen on the corner for a three. What did you think of the ball movement? Not only that y'all were, of course, scoring, but the way y'all were doing it with a lot of swinging it around.
Much better because it basically was some of the drills we put into practice and some of the breakdown drills that actually translated. And that's the other thing we've been talking about is, we're putting you in some of these breakdown situations, but it has to translate to the actual court to when we're actually in live action. And I thought tonight a lot of the things that we focused on actually translated. We've watched a lot of film, and I think helping them see themselves, see it. I always say see it and fix it, and they were able to do that tonight, which obviously, like I said, it also transcended into us scoring some extra points.
Last thing I'll ask for now is just with Yvette back out on the court, whenever she's on the floor, what is the biggest change that you see from maybe whenever you haven't had her, maybe what she just brings to help the offense out especially?
I think because with her maturity and her leadership, she brings a calming. If you notice, and there's moments to where we're not necessarily in transition, or maybe one of our four players gets the ball and we don't have numbers, and she goes and calls for it. So I think her communication, the way she talks to them when there's a time to huddle. So, and then obviously she can score. She has really good handles, but she can get downhill, but she can shoot it. So that's going to make sure that they draw the defense out too, especially if we can get her deep looping and staying kind of at the top so they can't overhelp off of her. I think that's going to give us some really good three balls as well.
You talked about the need to have better starts, and then today you guys, obviously outscore them 25-10 in the first quarter and hold Little Rock to, I believe it was 21% shooting in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Just, was there anything you guys did differently today to have that really good start? And I guess just, how important was that just in general?
Well, I thought the start was a lot better. I think one of the things is after a couple of possessions, we went into a little bit of a press. So by us full court pressing and really turning up the pace and the tempo, we forced them to take rush shots. If we didn't force a turnover, we definitely forced them to take rush shots, and I thought we rebounded it pretty well, especially in the first quarter, to allow us to force the issue to get back down the floor. And I think the tempo and the pace really did help us because that's the style we want to play. They wanted to use more of a shot clock. They wanted to get us in that motion offense to where we had to guard, and we really, I thought, disrupted them pretty well, especially in the first quarter to start the game.
Was that press something that you specifically saw for this game and this opponent, or was that more of an adjustment to maybe what happened at Southeastern Louisiana, or in the game against Southeastern Louisiana, or maybe a mix of both?
I'd say a little bit. It's something we've worked on, but we have really been able to work on it because we had a few more days of prep. There's been, some of our games there's only been 1 to 2 days between, so we've had to go right into prep, so it's been harder to really work on some of the specific things we needed to. And so this week, I think that has been one thing. and we watched some film, and I think that film really did help open their eyes so they could see where they needed to be, the rotations needed to be made. And we still have, I mean, like I said, there's always something to work on, and that's my job to be the critiquer. But at the end of the day, I thought we did a much better job of having an understanding of the expectations out of the press.
I guess just how important is that even when the final box score looks good, that there's still things that you can still continue to, preach as you continue to build the culture here?
I think that's part of it. I tell them all the time. I mean, that's me being a tough coach, but it's the expectation, it's the culture, and the things that we want to do. I'm always going to find things for us to get better at. Our goal is to play a perfect game, but that's not going to happen. But we have to continue to push and strive to get better, to fine-tooth some things, limit turnovers. We had some, mishaps to where we gave up a couple of offensive rebounds. Towards the end of the game, we fouled when we shouldn't have been putting them on the line. So just some little things we can fix. But again, the bright spots, 19 assists. We were able to score 96 points coming into tonight, so that was huge.
You mentioned the motion offense that Little Rock runs. Is there any, I guess, challenges when it comes to preparing for a team that plays such a different and contrasting style of play from what you guys want to do? And I guess just how do you feel like you guys dealt with that? Obviously, you mentioned the press, but just in general.
I think the press was something that definitely helped us, and I think it helped us settle down and really helped us control the tempo, especially in the first 2 quarters of the game, and just set that pace. But then, I thought there were moments when we did guard, and when we forced them into, a couple of shot clock violations. We forced them into some tough contested shot late in the shot clock, and then we were able to pull the rebounds. And so I think those moments really did show that we can guard, and we can make a lot of good decisions. But we've just got to be very technical, and we have to continue to grow and communicate at a little bit higher rate so we can make fewer mistakes.
Coach, it took Little Rock almost 6 minutes to score in the second quarter. Defensively, what did you maybe change from Sunday and from the Southeastern Louisiana game that you took into tonight to play such stifling defense?
I think initially was the press, us really turning up the tempo and picking up full court and forcing them to take those rush shots, because it allowed us to not have to worry about some of the screens and them getting loose, because they were able to, like I said, to take some rush shots. And when you're able to get those rebounds and it turns into points for us, I think that was where the gap was able for us to create that gap. And, and then I think it helped us settle in. So if we didn't necessarily stop it, when we had to guard for 18, 20 seconds, we were able to settle in and do a much better job of guarding in the split screen action and that motion offense.
This was Bonnie's 3rd double-double of the season. What does that say about her grit and tenacity on the court?
I think that she is, I also have to understand that she's still a true freshman, and she's been able to really come in here and make a statement and be, she's got freshman of the week already, but just to help her grow and to be able to rebound. She had a game where she didn't perform at the level in which she wanted. And so for her to be able to continue to grow and respond and she's so coachable. She was in my office this morning. It's game day, and we're talking about the offense and helping her have a better understanding so she can see things and fix things. She's always wanting to put in extra time. She wants to watch film, and she wants to learn and grow. And the fact that she's coachable and she can perform at such a high level on both ends of the ball, because she doesn't stop. She has a high motor too. She has to guard the ball. She's getting rebounds. She's scoring. She's passing. And the more she continues to grow and understand the system and the offense, man, she can do something even more special.
Y'all have 5 days off, and then you play a back-to-back in Nashville. What is that stretch going to be like? Something y'all haven't really seen playing back-to-back games this year.
Well, first of all, I think it's a great time for us to grow. It's a great time for us to watch film. It's a great time for us to try to implement a couple of different things defensively and potentially to continue to grow offensively. So it's definitely a time for us to get better. And then obviously we have to prepare, because we have 2 back-to-back games, and it's an extremely quick turnaround, and it's travel. So we have to make sure that we have our minds right. It's in the middle of a holiday week as well.
So many of Talea's big games so far, she's been, a lot of the scoring at the free throw line. But to get 19 on the efficient shooting that she did tonight, what'd you see from her to have so much success?
I think she just settled in. She took really good shots, and I think that because we were able to share the ball and shift the offense, we were able to take overall better shots, not just for Talea, but for our entire team. And then she was more efficient because she got her legs under her, and she just kind of settled in and took her time. And she's capable of scoring at a really high rate. And so she really did that tonight. And she was extremely efficient, like you said.
Last thing is just, what do you think a game like this does where it's really everybody who touched the court did at least something pretty good, where it felt like a complete team win?
Absolutely, and those kind of wins are important. I tell them all the time, the team that plays together and stays together will win together. And, like I said, there's always something to fix, but the fact that they came out, they brought it for 40 minutes, they play extremely hard, they're continuing to grow and be coachable, and we obviously, like I said, we have a few things to fix, but I'm extremely proud of their tenacity, their effort, their grit, their fight, and their willingness to come off of a loss and to be able to battle and to fix some things and put those things that we've practiced on the last couple of days into performance. I'm extremely proud of my team.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.